What's up, guys? How are you? Happy Thursday. Welcome into another episode of the Daily Juice podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt, to follow me across all socials. This podcast being brought to you, well, buckle up here. You guys have asked for like a multimedia version of the Daily Juice. Well, you're going to get a lot of Daily Juice different looks here today. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to get to. I've got 2 college basketball bets. I have my first 2 NFL player props to give you guys coming up here for today. I don't know how many I'll have in action, but we've already given you the Chiefs teaser with the Chiefs at plus 7.5 and the over 41. We teased that right away. So let's see what happens as the week progresses, but I'm going to add to the pile a bunch of different picks and plays and whatnot, and I've got two half a unit prop bets that I'm going to give us here today on the Daily Juice podcast, which is being brought to you by OmahaStakes.com. OmahaStakes.com/juice. Special URL for you guys to jump on in. With that, you're going to get a pretty cool offer. Now, look, Omaha Stakes has been with us for a long time, and Omaha Stakes has been an awesome sponsor of this podcast, and we are incredibly thankful for everything Omaha Stakes has done over the years. If you haven't gone and bought something from Omaha Stakes, well, we were 2-1 last night. We made some money, so it's maybe this is the time to jump in and do it. OmahaStakes.com/juice, and they're going to give you 8 free Omaha Steak burgers just for doing that with OmahaStakes.com/juice. Go and search all these awesome order because it's the President's Day sale going on right now at OmahaStakes.com/juice. 8 free burgers on select packages by going to OmahaStakes.com/juice and shop the President's Day sale going on right now. 50% off site-wide sale additionally at OmahaStakes.com/juice with the Omaha Steaks President's Day sale going on right now at OmahaStakes.com/juice. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I got a lot of things I got to tell you about. I'm going to give you a bet, and then I'm going to tell you about a sponsor. I'm going to give you a bet. I'm going to tell you about a sponsor. Okay, so buckle up. This is good. The 2 sponsors, we're trying something new here tonight. So let me talk about this. Penn State at home tonight. Penn State plus 1.5 up against Iowa. Iowa on the road is no bueno. We've talked about this a bit with the Hawkeyes going on the road, and it just hasn't been a fun time for them. They're 4-5 ATS on the road. They are 4-7 ATS in the Big Ten. They are 1-4 ATS over their last 5 games. They went on the road to Indiana. They lost by 6 as 1.5 dogs. Yes, they beat Michigan. I get that, but they've covered 1 time in their last 4 games, and 3 of those games were at home, okay, where Iowa is a much better basketball team. But they're only 5-8 ATS at home. They're only 4-5 ATS on the road, while Penn State has cooked up a pretty good record here at home and pretty good record in the Big Ten. They're 7-4 ATS in the Big Ten. They've covered their last 2. They're 6-4 over their last 10. And while they're 5-6 over their last, or at home, they're 5-6. They covered on the road against Indiana. They won by 14 points as 7-point dogs, and they won against Rutgers by 15 points as 7.5-point dogs. Road dogs in double-digit wins. That's pretty darn impressive. We're seeing Penn State turn a corner here as we head towards the later part of the year. They did lose to Minnesota by 9 at home, but they beat Wisconsin in their last home game, catching 5.5. They won by 4. They covered against Purdue, catching 18, and they lost by 17 points. So as a dog, covered against Indiana, covered against Rutgers. They did lose to Ohio State and didn't cover, but they covered against Wisconsin and they covered against Purdue. They're 4-1 in their last 5 games as dogs. They are dogs here tonight, plus 1.5 up against Iowa. And look, I'm not a huge fan of this Hawkeye basketball team. And we, jumped on them in their last game up against Ohio State. They won the game, but they didn't look good coming down the stretch. We faded them against Indiana the last time they were on the road. I'm going to fade them again. I'm taking Penn State plus 1.5. KenPom has this as a 1-point win, 83-82 for Iowa. I think Penn State at home. I think Penn State's going to win, much like the Providence game last night. I like home dog, short number. Penn State plus 1.5 for 1.1 units. All right, you guys ready for something new? How about this? We got video. We got video going on. Swank Grills, the revolutionary portable gas grill, infrared grills that are the exact same heating technology used in some of the world's best steakhouses. Heat up to 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit and grill the juiciest steaks you've ever tasted in as little as 3 minutes. Not just for steaks, Swank portable infrared grills are perfect for chicken wings, hamburgers, seafood, vegetables, even pizza. And the Pizza Stone accessory, well, guess what? The Pizza Stone accessory, that thing can be yours if you use the code on your screen. I know you guys are listening sometimes, but the promo code is Super Bowl 24. You'll get, when you purchase a Swank 1,500 degree grill, a free grill cover, Pizza Stone, and Pizza Peel for using that promo code Super Bowl 24 only from swankgrills.com. If that doesn't make you hungry, nothing is going to make you hungry. Pretty cool stuff with Swank Grills. www.swankgrills.com. Made in the USA. Bring restaurant quality grilling into your own backyard. All right, bet number 2. Let's go to the Pac-12 and let's talk about Washington State at Oregon State. Oregon State so far in the Pac-12, they are 7-4 ATS. Washington State is just 6-5. Washington State is 5-5 on the road this year ATS, while Oregon State is 7-5 at home, and they've covered 7 of the last 10 games. Now, Oregon State as big dogs, yes, they lost on the road to USC in their last game, but this fits into my little home dog situation. Road loss, home dog. Another one of these trend bets that I like. USC plus 9.5 killed them by 28, but against UCLA, they're catching 10. They lost by 8. They're catching 2.5 at home in their last home game against Arizona State, won by 13. They were catching 18.5 at home against Arizona, and they shocked the world. We were on Oregon State at home when they won by 3 as 18.5-point home dogs. Now, on the road against Colorado and Utah, they got killed by 33 and by 27, but at home against Stanford, 4.5-point dogs, they lost by 4. In their last 3 home games, Oregon State is 3-0 ATS, and this number is 9.5. This is a heavy number in my mind. 9.5 here, where, I don't know, if you look at Oregon State, the numbers aren't great, but according to KenPom, this is only a 6-point win here. And we have 9.5. We got 3.5 points of value here with this, with Washington State going on the road. Washington State is good offensively, but not outstanding. 50th in efficiency, 71st in effective field goal percentage. They're 164th in 3-point percentage, 55th in 2-point percentage. Oregon State's decent defensively, 177 in efficiency, 152 in effective field goal percentage, 54th in 3-point D, but 236 in 2-point defense, not great. On offense, they're kind of middle of the pack. They're hit or miss, but they can get the job done when they need it, okay? They can play well when they need it. They're only 3-8 in conference. They're not going to win this game. But I think Wayne Tinkle is going to get these guys to play again in Corvallis, which is a hard place to play. Beat Arizona State, beat Arizona. Let's go with another maybe massive upset here and beat Washington State. I'm taking the 9.5 points. Oregon State plus 9.5 for 1.1 units. All right, one more. This is interesting. Guys, we have a cool offer for you if you are not a FanDuel customer and you want to make a bet for the big game coming up. FanDuel Sportsbook and BettingPros teaming up. Here is the code you're going to use. FanDuel.com/dailyjuice. When you go there, you will go and join FanDuel. You will sign up. They'll verify your identity. It could take as less than 2 minutes to do it. You make your first deposit, fund the account with at least $10 in it, and you make a bet. If your bet wins, $5 bet will get you $200 in bonus bets. Your first real money wager of $5 or more, and you get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's any bet. So you can bet a -500 favorite if you want. With a $5 bet, you're going to score $200 in bonus bets. To get this offer, you're going to go to FanDuel.com/dailyjuice. New customers only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hope is here. GamblingHelpline.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY That's 467-369 in the state of New York. Obviously, you must be 21 or older and be present in selected states that has legalized sports betting, and FanDuel is licensed. New customers, FanDuel.com/dailyjuice. Let's talk the big game. Let's talk George Kittle, who we were on in the NFC Championship game. George Kittle had 2 catches for 27 yards. They barely won the game. They barely won the game because they did not use one of their best players. Now, if you are Brock Purdy and you are in a big game, really big game, don't you want to look to George Kittle like you did against the Packers, where he had 4 catches for 81 yards and a touchdown? Look, I know things weren't great the whole year for Kittle, and he may have been nagging with an injury at the end of the year. He didn't really look great at the end of the year, but this is a guy who's had 65 catches for over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, and it's a game that he talked about when they lost to the Chiefs back in 2020. He said, "We'll be back. I'm coming for this title," and I believed him. This is one of the guys who knows what it's like to lose the Super Bowl. When you lose the Super Bowl, that kills. That is a fire that burns in you, and that's something that you really want to go and rid yourself of that memory. And you get a chance to beat the team that beats you. You want to talk about ridding yourself. I mean, this would be an absolute monster opportunity here. George Kittle indoors, 7 catches for 132 yards. Nothing too spectacular there. They didn't play all that much indoors. But I think Brock Purdy is going to look heavily at George Kittle. I don't want to go with the receptions because I'm a little concerned just about how many targets he's going to have. He only had 3 targets against Detroit, 7 targets against the Green Bay Packers. I do expect his targets to be pretty high, but the defense has been pretty good. There are major injuries with that linebacking core for the Chiefs, however, things you got to watch out for. 4 receptions for 81 yards and 1 touchdown. I expect that type of line here for George Kittle. 2 bets, half a unit on both. George Kittle to go over 49.5 receiving yards. He did this against Baltimore, against Arizona, against Seattle, against Philadelphia, against Tampa Bay, against Jacksonville, against Cincinnati, against Minnesota, against Dallas, against the Giants. In the postseason, he's 1 for 2 doing this, 81 yards against Green Bay. But I do think he's going to be targeted a lot here in this game. I really, really do like George Kittle. And here's the thing about the Gronk versus Travis Kelce debate, or is Travis Kelce the greatest tight end ever? Travis Kelce is not a tight end. George Kittle and Rob Gronkowski are tight ends. They actually block. Like Sam Laporta is a better tight end than Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce is an enormous wide receiver. Travis Kelce in pass protection is not good. Like, look at the game film in the last game. Matador, 3 or 4 different times. Pass rushers. Gronk was a road grader in the run game. Kittle blocks downfield like crazy. He blocks a ton. Kittle is an incredible, incredible athlete, but an all-around tight end. Travis Kelce is a wide receiver. Okay, he's not the greatest tight end of all time. He may be the biggest, most dangerous weapon in the offense, passing offense. But give me Gronkowski. Gronk is a way better all-around tight end. Kittle, he's incredible. Yeah, the numbers aren't nearly as great offensively, but that's because he does everything. He stays in pass protection. He does the little things a tight end has to do. I love George Kittle's game. George Kittle, over 49.5 yards at -110 for a half a unit. And the other half a unit, anytime touchdown, +185. Kittle gets into the end zone here for the Niners. He will score a touchdown in this game. I'm going to tell you this prediction right now. I haven't put this prediction out anywhere, okay? 24-21 Niners. That is what I'm calling for this game. 3-point win for San Francisco, okay? Everyone's on the Chiefs. I've been on Radio Row now for 4 days. Everyone's on the Chiefs. I have yet to speak to a media member telling me they are taking the Niners to win this game. Everyone's like, I can't bet against Mahomes. I can't bet against Mahomes. It's almost like they just don't want to be wrong taking the Niners and Mahomes wins, and they're like, damn it. I think that's really going into play here, okay? If the Chiefs aren't leading at halftime, the game's over. Remember I said that, okay? The Chiefs aren't leading at halftime, the game's over. KC's defense is incredible. Everyone's under 23.5 in the second half, okay? Don't hate it. Very well might be on it myself, okay? Under 23.5. 18-2 is 18-2. That's an insane number. And it's all the Chiefs' defense, but it's also the Chiefs' offense. Chiefs' offense doesn't score after halftime. Everyone's on Pacheco. Everyone's going to run the ball. Okay? Let's see. If the Niners get the lead, it's pretty hard to run the ball. And I know the Chiefs' pass offense is phenomenal. It's Mahomes, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. It's Kelsey, one of the greatest wideout/tight ends of all time. Okay? Tough to deal with. But man, everyone just is writing off this Niners team. It's really interesting how quickly they're just going. Andy Reid with 2 weeks, Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. I'm betting Kansas City. I told you, I'm already on Chiefs plus 7.5 and the over 41. That teaser was the first bet we made for a 1 unit, okay? 1.2 units. But I think San Fran wins. I'm going to lay the points. I'm going to come back and create my own middle here. Try to go on both sides. Have it be a 3-point win for San Francisco, and we hit them both. 24-21. But more bets to come off that later, but I'll explain. I haven't made the bet, by the way, on -2 or -2.5. I haven't made the bet yet. I want to see where the number goes. It's not going to 3, okay? So I'm not worried about it. So it's not going to go to 3. But 2.5, 1.5, we'll see where the number starts to settle as we head towards the game on Sunday. But 3 bets for us here today. Penn State plus 1.5. Oregon State plus 9.5. George Kittle over 49.5 receiving yards. And anytime touchdown for George Kittle at plus 185. Both those prop bets are half-unit prop bets. Bet to win a half a unit or more. Just bet the half a unit on the anytime touchdown at plus 185. More bets to come tomorrow for the big game. More bets in college basketball. By the way, we're 36-30 in college basketball. Good start. Go into February. Profitable, up over 6 units. Let's keep it rolling here in college basketball. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me across all socials at Sports Talk Matt every single morning. The Daily Juice Podcast being brought to you by OmahaStakes.com.